What's your game like now? What do you got now?
6.7.
Damn. That's pretty good.
I'm Catholic, but I've been going into even synagogues and telling rabbis that I shot a 63 at Bel Air. Greatest day of my life. Every putt went in the hole.
Yeah.
I made 9 birdies. The hole looked like an open manhole in New York City.
Yeah.
I couldn't miss. And then the next day I shot 82. And that's golf, you know?
That is golf. That is golf. You play with Al?
Play a lot. I've tell you my Al story.
Al Michaels stories are always welcome here.
Hillcrest Country Club, 16th hole, me and Al and another guy. Mm-hmm. And, you know, Al's not good. Al's like this. He's not good. He plays every day and he's not good. I'm like, Al, how about we mix in a lesson this week? No, I got it. And he's so fun to play with.
Of course.
But he's terrible. I mean, come on. And we all love him. But he can't play dead.
He's got the bucket hat.
He can't play dead in a cowboy movie. He's terrible. So anyway, 16th hole, I hit this at 9-iron. Goes over the pin, right?
Yeah.
And it starts to trickle back. Mm-hmm. Al launches into play-by-play mode. Al Michaels.
That's great.
Maybe the greatest play-by-play guy in history.
Could be. Yeah, absolutely.
Hold on, folks. We're not done yet. It might be. It could be. It is a hole-in-one for Reilly. Mm-hmm. And I went crazy. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking, God, I wished I'd had that on tape. But really, it's still on tape in my brain.
Of course.
And every time I see him, how about that call on the hole-in-one? Well, what about I made the hole-in-one? The call. That's how Al is.
He is the greatest.
He's the best.
He really, really is.
I mean, and have you ever asked him about miracles?
What? You mean
Do you believe in miracles?
Sure.
He says, people think of a stage that we put it in after. Does he tell you?
Oh, go ahead. Keep going.
He's like, we didn't even have time to eat a sandwich. We were in such in a hurry. And he says, I don't know why. I was just born with this thing, and this stuff just comes out.
Because he's the greatest of all time.
He's the greatest play-by-play guy I've ever seen.
Al Michaels is, and the crazy thing is, for all those years on Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, they didn't have a rules analyst because they didn't need one. He's the rules analyst too. He knows the book. He knows exactly down and distance.
And he's
knows
also
time.
so
he knows
great
timeouts.
at situation. The best I've ever seen.
Unbelievable.
Quick question, a quick story. We have so many great announcers at Bel Air. Uh-huh. We have Vin Scully. So one day, Vin Scully makes a hole-in-one. Wow. And we're all sitting around the smart table. And I got to hear this story, right? Because it's Vin Scully, greatest storyteller ever. So Vin, tell us about your hole-in-one. Well, you know, it's funny. I was playing with a guy that would make a cup of coffee nervous, and I wasn't really having a banner day. Well, lo and behold, I hit the shot. It sounded like I hit it with the morning paper, Sunday, mind you, and it wasn't that good. But you know, Rick, 2 wrongs do make a right. I hit the wrong club, and what do you know? The ball goes plop, plop into the hole, and I expected the end to be. And this story brought to you by Farmer John. That was so great. Vin Scully telling stories.
Oh my gosh. You know, he was the last announcer we'll probably never see again in baseball where the broadcast, certainly locally here in Los Angeles, would do away with half a commercial pod. Just so he could come back like around 5th inning. You've seen when he used to do the Dodger games locally. They would come back like top of the 5th, like a minute earlier than any other inning commercial break, just for him to turn around, field behind him with a microphone and just spin a yarn.
Oh, it was so
and just
great.
be Vin. And then now it's time for Dodgers baseball. Let's now turn around and watch the game. And who does that anymore? Like, they'll never, like, could you imagine a broadcast saying, you know what, we'll do away with 2 sponsor opportunity commercials just to come back so you can tell a story as a broadcaster?
Well,
like,
I have a
never again.
disastrous story. I did 3 innings once for an SI column, and I trained with the Colorado Rockies, trained for a week, and I had this whole list of baseball, you know, no mas pelota, if a guy hit a home run, no mas pelota, if it was a Spanish player, or
oh my gosh,
close the shutters, Granny, it's Halen Horsehide. Terrible stuff, right? So
this is prepared, unlike
prepared.
Do You Believe in Miracles?
25 things, right? And I'm on the mic,
yes.
Play-by-play guys here, color guys here. Jeff Kent rips it to deep right, and it's clearly gone.
Yeah.
And I go, that's way back there. And he's like, he's pointing to my sheet.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's way, way back there. And he's like,
it's your
and I'm
time.
like, and I go, it's a homer. That's all I said. It's a homer. And I was so depressed. And I had to read an ad, I remember, for La Quinta Hotels. And I go, La Quinta Hotels, that's Spanish for next to Denny's. And the directors,
that's a problem.
The directors in my head are like, we never make fun of the sponsors. What are you doing? I'm like, I didn't know.
Rick, one night on NFL Network, Thursday Night Football. I believe it was in New England, and it was a Kentucky Fried Chicken blimp shot. It was sponsored by Kentucky Fried Chicken, and they give you a card to read and whatever. So I'm the host, and I'm doing my read for Kentucky Fried Chicken. And Warren Sapp sitting there says, Kentucky Fried, that's not real chicken. Popeyes is real chicken. And so,
no.
Oh, God, yes. So snap cut to 3 days later. It's time for NFL Game Day highlights, which Dion, Mooch, and I did. Brought to you by Kentucky Fried Chicken. They did so many make goods, I damn near had to put on a bolo tie and a fake beard. Everything was Kentucky Fried Chicken because Warren Sapp said that's not real chicken.
Well, I actually got a letter 2 weeks later from the president of La Quinta Hotels. And it said, well, we know you like to kid around. Here's 2 nights at one of our 43 billion La Quinta hotels. And I wrote him back, haven't I suffered enough? No, I didn't.
Oh, no. I thought the punchline is you went and it was actually next to a Denny's.
Probably was.
I thought that was the punchline.
It probably was.
Oh, my gosh.
God.
So Help Me Golf, Why We Love the Game by Rick Reilly. Thanks for coming in here, man. May you shoot a 54 and get $54 million for it, because that's the prize on the live tour.
In the book is the guy that shot the greatest round in history of 55.
Okay.
At par 71 in Oklahoma. His name was Rian Gibson. And I called him up and said, I'm going to try to shoot a 55 and see how many mulligans it takes. So I flew down there.
Yeah.
And it's a quest. Do you know how hard it is to shoot a 55? There's scramble teams that are won and they don't even shoot 55. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I imagine so.
So the point was, I do it in 57 mulligans.
Okay.
But I didn't tell Reen that I played from the red tees. And I hope no one tells him that. But I really wanted to do it.